All right, g'day, and welcome. I'm gonna see if this works. I forgot my tripod downstairs. So you'll have to forgive me for that. Oh, I forgot my picks over there. Oh, stupid ceiling. Stop doing that. All right, can't have anything nice. Oh, put that there. So I got my 7 string here. All right, so this video is number one: don't smack your instruments against the ceiling or your drum kit or whatever. But I got the Mark Holcomb 7 string here. Thought I'd show you that because it's a really cool guitar. I've recorded with this thing quite a bit. Um, I love everything about this guitar. I really do, and stuff like that. But the thing is this guitar, you know, as awesome as it is, needs something to back it to make it sound more awesome. Which means you kind of need a band. So I have a bass sitting over there, obviously sitting behind my new drum kit, which I just absolutely love. My Mapex Armory. This is a rock kit, so with the limited edition Anaconda Burst. I don't know how many of these drum kits they've made, but it's kind of like this Holcomb guitar. At some point, they're going to stop making this version of it, if they haven't already. I think the new version has a blue whatever. So anyway, I don't want to get too much into the goodies. The point I want to make today is the importance of learning more than one instrument. And if you are like me, okay, back in the 90s, yes, I'm going to go one of those back in the 90s videos. Back in the 90s, I was playing about 4 nights a week with my bands, bands, I guess you could say. And it was really, really cool to be able to do that. The fact that you could get 5 people to show up at the same time for 3 hours straight was a real task. I don't know how many. The lead singer I had at the time, Stacy, she had to be the most unpunctual person ever. She would literally show up for the gig like 2 minutes before the show would start. Yeah, she was like that, right? But we loved her anyway. Uh, she was quite the character. But anyway, yeah, I don't know how many bands they were over before they begun, just because you couldn't get people together, right? You just couldn't do it. And then what ends up happening is years go by, and it's like, okay, well, I've been out of a band for about 4 or 5 years now. I want to get back into it. So you start doing the jam night stuff, which is fine, which is absolutely fine. But you become the one man band thing, acoustic guitar playing, whatever. If you're lucky, somebody joins you on stage once in a while. But even that is hard, just to get 2 people together, let alone 5, right? And then you start recording. And when you start recording, that's when things really go awry for you, because it's like now you got your phenomenal guitar. Okay, great. You got your phenomenal guitar or bass or whatever, or your drummer. Worst case scenario, and don't take offense to this, hear me out now, is you're a drummer. The problem with the drummers is drummers can't do, they can't play chords, right? So they can only play beats, which is fine if you have something to play beats along to. Like the drums are just one part of the song. The acoustic guitar, okay, is fine because it can stand on its own. So I can go and just be a guitar player for the night somewhere, or I can be a guitar player vocalist somewhere, right? So you can at least get that. Very rarely can you book a gig just being a drummer, you know what I mean? Or a bass player or something. I'm not saying it hasn't been done, but in general, no. Most places will say, well, where's the rest of the band? You know what I mean? The problem with the electric guitar is electric guitars don't really sound great on their own. They sound cool when you're in your room, you're practicing stuff, but they really sound like there should be a band behind it. There's some blues guys that sit there and diddle like They do the BB King thing, right? Where you can get away with it, but again, you're very limited in what you could do with electric guitar by yourself on stage, right? I know there's exceptions to the rule, but in general, yes. So you're really thinking full band. So you're thinking full band, but everybody's all grown up now. Everybody works. You can't get anybody together. What do you do? Well, if you took the time to learn one instrument, it's the growing pains of your first instrument is the hard one, whatever the first instrument is. Every instrument after that has a reference point. So if you're a drummer and your reference point is at least timing. So you know that when you play your guitar, when you learn a guitar, you're going to have to play it in time. At least you got that. And you'll probably be really quick to get things in time because you're going to be conscious about that. When you're a guitar player, you're thinking in terms probably more riffs and melody. Whatever you're going to do, right? And you can write songs, left, right, and center. You can get really crazy with the songwriting. But then you got to put things together. So learning a guitar will take you years and years and years to master it. Yeah, lifetime. But you can say that about any instrument. But to get going, it doesn't take that long to get going, especially if you're an active learner. The problem with the self-taught anything is ignorance is not bliss. So yes, learning theory, it's not that hard. You can knock that out. Most of the theory you can knock out in about 10 lessons for guitar. Probably about the same for drums, I would imagine. And get the basics of all the theory. And then just grow from there, to more complicated stuff, which, again, takes years, but you'll have enough to get you going. So at least you can just save all the trial and error stuff. You know what I mean? Which I'll make that another video. But the idea is the more instruments you play, I don't have to worry about getting a drummer together now. I might not be the best drummer because I've only been drumming for about 3 weeks, but plus stuff from years ago. The bass, again, I've been noodling on that thing for about a year, and right from the get-go, I started doing songs, but staying in my lane of what I could get away with. So yeah, I go a little bit stupid with the guitar because I'm able to, right? But with the the bass, I've got limits with the bass for slapping and stuff like that. Other than that, I'm not too bad. But the drums, again, I'm not going to be trying crazy fills until I can do them smoothly. So I'm going to stay in my lane with that one. But the thing is I have the drums, the guitar, the bass, do vocals, acoustic. I've got a mandolin, got violins, got a ukulele, got some tin whistles and stuff like that. Recorder, a big recorder, triangle. Right? So I got all these instruments, and the thing is I can compose now. So once you start picking up more than one instrument, you lose that kind of ego of the instrument, where it's like, okay, I'm the guitar player, I'm the drummer, where now I just see myself as the musician. You know what I mean? I've been like that for years. I went to a jam night once, and a guy came up to me, and I forget what instrument I brought out that night, and I remarked something to the guy that, yeah, I also play this and this too. And he goes, yeah, I know, I seen you, you're a multi-instrumentalist. And it was the first time I'd ever been referred to as a multi-instrumentalist. And it was just like, yeah, he's right. He is right. I don't have one here, but I can play piano a little bit. Like anything. Give me a couple of weeks on any instrument. I won't master it, but I'll have the basics down. I'll be able to write a song. It just might not be saxophone. I can play saxophone a little bit. You know what I mean? And the more instruments you know, it's that much better. The trick is to learn the instrument right from the get-go, which I'll make that the next video. But you should be pursuing as many instruments as you can, even if you have to rent some. You can rent instruments. You can rent drums. You can rent guitars. You can rent basses, pianos, you name it. You can rent a lot of stuff. It might not be the best thing long term, but short term it might be a viable cellos and violins and stuff like, see if see what you can get out of it, right? But the thing is especially in this day and age, it's never been easier to learn an instrument than now, because simply due to the fact that you have access to all this, maybe not, well, free material, you know what I mean? Like all the YouTube lessons of pick an instrument, any instrument. So I say expand your horizons as much as you can. But anyway, I don't want to go too long on this video. About to go over. So anyway, yeah, I'm going to wrap it up like that. So yeah, if you're playing whatever instrument, start planning your next instrument. Baby steps. Just learn about it first. There we go.